The room smelled like expensive wine and fake cheer. Gold lights, polite laughter, a stage built for lies. I was holding a glass I hadn't touched when my boss's voice cut through the music. Loud, sharp, public. "Why is someone else driving the Tesla the company bought for you?" Silence rippled outward. Heads turned. Smiles froze mid-performance. My pulse didn't spike. It dropped. I looked at him slowly, as if calculating the weight of every second. Then I said it. "What are you talking about? I don't own a car right now." The words landed wrong, too clean, too final. I felt it before I saw it. My wife, standing near the bar, the company's accountant, the woman who balanced every ledger down to the last cent, went pale. Not surprised pale, exposed pale. Her fingers tightened around her phone. Someone behind me whispered my name. My boss laughed awkwardly, already sensing something had gone off script. That's when the doors opened. The lawyer arrived. Black suit, no smile, not a guest. He didn't look at me first. He looked at her. And in that moment, I understood something terrible and beautiful at the same time. This wasn't an accusation. It was an audit. I didn't confront her that night. I didn't need to. The truth has a smell when it's close, metallic, like blood and water. On the drive home, she talked too much, about the party, about my boss being drunk, about how embarrassing it all was. She never once asked why someone would think I had a Tesla. I watched the road, counted exits, counted lies. She had been distant for months, not cold, strategic. Late nights at the office, emergency reconciliations, a new phone password, a new perfume she claimed was from a client gift basket. I had ignored it because denial is cheaper than truth. That night, while she slept beside me, I opened her laptop. She was careful, but accountants always believe numbers protect them. Buried in depreciation schedules and vehicle expense reports was a ghost, a Tesla, registered to a Shell LLC, paid for by company funds, assigned to no one, except the GPS logs told a different story. Night drives, private addresses, hotels nowhere near client sites. One name kept repeating in my head, the CFO, my boss's right hand, married, untouchable. And her, my wife. Not just an affair, a collaboration. They weren't stealing money to hide love, they were using love to steal money, and they had used me as camouflage. I became patient. Patience is easy when anger has direction. I smiled at work, delivered reports early, took notes, let them believe the party incident had rattled me. At night, I documented everything: phone records, encrypted backups, time-stamped screenshots. I watched her routine like a stranger renting a room in my house. She'd leave early on Fridays. The Tesla would move. I didn't follow. I didn't need to. I hired a forensic accountant, off the books, former regulator, quiet, expensive. He didn't ask why. He just asked for access. 3 weeks later, he slid a folder across a cafe table. Fraud, embezzlement, breach of fiduciary duty, and adultery written between the lines like a footnote no one could erase. "You're clean," he said, "but only because you never touched the car." I nodded. That's when I knew how this would end. Not with shouting, not with tears, with timing. I forwarded everything anonymously, to the board, to compliance, to legal. Then I waited. The lawyer came to her house 2 days after Christmas. My wife opened the door. He handed her the envelope. She didn't open it. She didn't have to. She looked at me instead. I took the envelope gently and placed it on the table between us. "I know," I said. One sentence, no emotion. Her knees gave out. She cried like someone whose calculations had finally failed. It wasn't supposed to. I raised a hand. "No explanations," I said. "I already read them." She begged. She blamed pressure. She blamed loneliness. I watched her like I'd watch a witness on the stand. Empty words, late defenses. The company moved fast. The CFO was terminated by Monday, charges filed by Wednesday. My wife lost her license, her reputation, her control. At the emergency board meeting, my boss wouldn't meet my eyes. The Tesla was seized as evidence. I was offered a promotion, a settlement, silence. I declined all of it. Instead, I submitted my resignation, effective immediately. Then I served her divorce papers. No alimony, no mercy. She asked me once through tears if I had ever loved her. I thought about it. Yes, I said, before you made me invisible. I live lighter now. No shared accounts, no shared lies. Sometimes I pass that hotel on the highway. Sometimes I don't feel anything at all. That's how I know I won. Because the moment they tried to use me as cover, they stopped seeing me as a man. And I learned something colder than revenge. The truth doesn't scream, it waits. And when it stands up in a room full of liars, it doesn't raise its voice. It just leaves them exposed.